it was when we changed our focus to the emerging export markets of Europe and the United States that we needed the existence of a pesticide residue laboratory. It was at this point that we found the Environmental Quality Lab that was part of the Central Veterinary Lab that did some of these specific analyses having to do with gas chromatography, high-performance liquid chromatography, and some special extraction techniques. And lucky for us, it was located within a 5-minute drive of our Institut Économie Rurale laboratories at Sotuba.
In this lab, we mostly work on samples. People bring us samples and we do the analysis. Okay. Our lab is really a tool that the country needs. Last year, we worked with mango exporter in England. So we made the analysis in the lab. That was a great deal. So we find out that our mangoes were pesticide free. So that can make the grower feel really confident and make them make more money knowing that their crops are good. And also our work with Sotuba, Madame Gambi, also make a big decision with green beans growers. The same thing with tomato also. So we hope and we think that our lab has it's a tool that the country needs. The main goal of the project was to make our lab, with IPM, with Virginia Tech, was to make the lab functional. To tell you the truth, if we didn't have that support from IPM, we wouldn't be here now because we had equipment, but we didn't have any expertise. So IPM provided us expertise by Virginia Tech crew coming once a year and we going there once a year to work on the machines. So that was very critical for us to have IPM.
By year 5, we realized we had information ready for dissemination. And it was at that time that we began plans for farmer field schools and for working with the private sector in Mali and for using university undergraduates from the United States to help in the dissemination process. This year, which is the second year that we brought externs to Mali in the IPM CRSP, there's going to be 3 different projects. First of all, Kim Macklin is going to be looking at the U.S. government laws that impinge on research projects like this, primarily NEPA, the National Environmental Protection Act. She's going to be looking up legislation that tells us how we should conduct these projects and what we should pay attention to if we're sampling insects or using a new pesticide in the field. Another student, Angie Gray, will be looking at how to transfer this information from the research that farmers and the scientists do in the field, having to do with protecting tomatoes against whiteflies, partly using neem as a pesticide, and partly using other techniques. And she's going to be also looking at the role of spiders as a beneficial arthropods, and so trying to develop a portion of the poster system that we've developed for people who are not readers. The reason for the externship is to combine two sets of goals. First, the IPM CRSP goals, which are to do collaborative research and research support with the people of Mali, with the scientists and the farmers and the other stakeholders in Mali. And on the other hand, to accomplish the goals of giving students research experiences in an international, particularly a developing country environment.
One of the neat things that I came to learn in talking with the farmers was how much the research in organic methods, particularly in the use of neem as a plant protection product, and use of the colored flags as another non-chemical approach to trap flies, has focused farmers on alternative ideas to just simple chemicals that they purchase. What it's done is allowed them to say, we have things in our own environment which are useful. We have neem trees that are growing all around us, and we can use those leaves to protect our plants. And we knew this, and it validates their own local knowledge.
This is from the neem tree, which is one of the best insecticidal, pesticidal, antimicrobial sources of chemicals in the Sahel and in this portion of Africa.
Then they've turned around and said, well, you know, there's another plant that we use for certain medicinal purposes that has this type of quality. We want to experiment with that one too. So they're starting to recognize they have alternatives around them that they just have to mix and match in new ways, and we get to help them work on that.
And so, not only did we overcome barriers to success, we surpassed expectations. We developed participatory techniques adapted to Mali specifically. We developed IPM packages for several staple crops and export or local market crops. We developed a relationship with the Environmental Quality Lab and helped that lab become functional. We introduced neem and encouraged the use of other botanicals, and motivated participation of women through the farmer field schools. We developed the idea of undergraduate externs as adjunct to the dissemination process.